Full-time whistle. Liverpool 2, Newcastle United 0. Now, the last 7 days as a Liverpool fan, yes, you might be the most confident Liverpool fan, but I don't think you thought we would win all 3 of these games. Now, obviously, we didn't. The Aston Villa draw was, at the moment, extremely frustrating. You know, Nunes and Jota, we need a new forward next season. Like, we can't go into next season with either of those guys as our starting forward. And obviously, Diaz isn't a forward or a striker. But the Aston Villa result was made. I felt better after the Aston Villa result because of what Arsenal did against West Ham. Now, the West Ham and Nottingham Forest results, I expected Arsenal to drop points in one of those games. I was assuming they would beat West Ham and probably draw or lose to Nottingham Forest. But seeing that they've dropped 5 points in those 2 games, while we've picked up 6 against Man City and against Newcastle, I think, I don't want to say the league is over, but we've lost 1 game all season. We have 7 draws, but we've lost 1 game all season. That would mean that we'd have to lose, 5 games? That's not happening. And it would also mean that Arsenal would have to win every single game, and that's also not happening. Now, I went into this week, the last 7 days, thinking this could be hell week for Liverpool. Meaning, if we were to draw against Villa, which I had a strong possibility that we'd draw against Villa, and then draw against City, which I also thought we'd probably draw against City, and then we'll beat Newcastle. So we'd get 5 points out of those games. I anticipated that Arsenal would get at least 4 points from the last 2 games, which would have them close the gap on us. After watching Arsenal drop points to Nottingham Forest, I don't know how to put it into words, but I don't even care what Arsenal do anymore. I mean, I haven't cared what Arsenal have done for the last 10 games. I've only cared about what we do. And the start of the year has been difficult for us, right? Obviously, dropping points against losing the PSV. Obviously, we put our backups in there just as a, whatever. The Everton game was extremely frustrating to witness, especially because of how the game ended. I don't think we outplayed them. I don't think we deserved to win the game. But seeing how we drew the game was frustrating. The Plymouth game. So it's been a year. We started off with poor result after poor result after poor result. And our performance was poor. Performances were poor. It wasn't until these last 7 days that we've actually played sustainable, good football throughout the games. Now, there's 10 games left. I think mathematically we need 7 games to secure the title. 7 wins, to secure the title. Sorry, I'm peeking over at the at the Real Madrid game right now. Sociedad and Real Madrid. 7 wins out of the 10 games. I predict probably need 5 wins, maybe 4 wins, because I just don't see how Arsenal can win out. Now, couple talking points from the last 3 games, because I wanted to put this video out after this Newcastle result finished. Couple notes from the last 3 games. So the Villa game was the start of us playing good football again. We were free flowing. The attackers, every attacker was performing, I don't want to say well, but they were getting chances, and that was one thing that I wasn't seeing enough the previous games before that. Obviously PSV, Plymouth, Everton, the kind of results that pissed me off more than anything. Aston Villa, we played exceptional football. The defense, both goals that we conceded in the Aston Villa game were frustrating, especially the Watkins goal. It was frustrating to concede back-to-back goals like that. But I have to give credit to our attack for always creating chances when chances need to be created, right? Like, sometimes we take our foot off the gas pedal and just relax, coast throughout the game. If it's already, we're already 1 or 2 goals up, we just kind of chill and let the game play out. But obviously needing a goal, we pressed on, created so many chances, and then it just didn't click. Frustrating. But obviously, going into the Man City game, I was happy because Arsenal lost, right? So the Man City game was, I think, an opposite of what we saw against Aston Villa, where Arne Slot didn't go into that game trying to control the game, didn't go into that game trying to win the game in the sense of outplaying Man City. He went into that game with the intent of just winning. However you're going to win the game, win the game. And having seen Man City throughout this season, it's easy to. I don't want to say it's easy to play against them, but it's too slow. That methodical, slow playing style that Man City likes to do, it doesn't work anymore. Like this aren't the times of prime KDB, David Silva, Fernandinho, where you could just pass Sterling and Sane on the wings, that you could just pass them the ball, pass it in behind, cut it back to. This is in the same city, right? Savinho and Doku are not Sterling and Sane. Actually, they're very far from Sterling and Sane. They're younger than those prime players, but I'm struggling to see, especially I just watched Savinho, Man City against Spurs. I'm struggling to see Savinho get to that Sane. I don't see it ever happening. Doku, for all we might say about Sterling and how he's performing this season, Sterling always had an end product, right? He always finished off those chances. Doku, I don't see that same player. I see more of a creator. So Man City having 80% possession, whatever they want to do against us, I wasn't bothered by it because it was comfortable defending from Van Dijk and Konate. And I want to give Trent a lot of credit. I know the 10 plus dribble pass, whatever stat has come out, but Doku never created anything dangerous throughout that game. So, and then obviously Salah and Szoboszlai coming up with the goal and the assist for each other that game. Now, I want to say something special about Szoboszlai. When he came in last season, I was critical of him because I thought I was getting the Leipzig Szoboszlai. I was getting the guy that would give me 40-yard screamers, 30-yard free kicks, would make runs in behind and bang it in, would make runs in behind and square it to. Szoboszlai wasn't doing that last season. I think this 2025, something has clicked in his brain that said, hey, you're the 10 of this team. You have the 8 on your back. It's time to play, not like Stevie G, obviously. He's not Stevie G. But it's time for you to carry the mantle in the midfield. And it's like 2025 hit, and he woke up. And he's been doing that ever since. Again, today, gets the goal. He's playing with such energy consistently game by game. And I'm not glad that we're out of the FA Cup because we'll play this weekend. But I'm glad he gets a full week before the PSV game. And that PSV game is going to be. I'll get into that game when I make my predictions about all the Champions League knockout games. Szoboszlai today again was exceptional. I think it was the man of the match again today. Salah, it didn't really work. I think I was looking at the stats from our game. I watched the game. Obviously, I watched a couple other games just in the corner of my eye, but I think he had 7 or 8 dribbles. Only one came off. So Hall was playing him really well. Now, Lewis Hall, for me, is one of the top left backs in this country. That being England. I want to see him at the World Cup next year. I think he should be probably the starting left back for England at the World Cup next year. But nothing kind of came off for Salah. He had some passes. He tried to play Trent in behind. He should have had 2 assists, actually, because the Diaz chance, I know he's stretching, but I think he went at it with the wrong technique. I think lifting up both legs probably wasn't necessary. I think he could just run onto it and probably outside the right foot into the back of the net. But it is what it is. He can't score every game, but he's leaving the game with a GA. With those 3 games now over, I don't see how we drop points again the rest of the season. Now, that's not me trying to be too, cocky or too proud or anything like that. I'm more so looking at how every other team is performing this season. I believe we still have to play Spurs. Obviously, we're playing Arsenal. We have some difficult on paper, games coming up, but I don't see how we drop points in any of them. I'm going to each game assuming and confident that we can win each game. Obviously, we'll probably draw 1 or 2. We might even lose 1 or 2, but I'm going into each game believing that we're going to win every single game, especially having seen how every other team has performed up to this point and how we're performing up to this point. Now, Anfield hasn't seen a Premier League win live. Like when we won it, it was COVID. The fans weren't able to celebrate. I think us having these 10 games left and 7 of them being at Anfield, you're going to hear a raucous Anfield for 7 games. You're going to hear the crowd really pick it up in the running of the season. And even in the away games, I think you're going to hear our traveling fans go crazy just because they can sense that the Premier League is literally at the doorstep. A little note about Arsenal. Now, a lot has been made about Arsenal and their injuries. Saka being out, obviously that's massive. If we lost Salah, I would understand. Saka being out is massive. Martinelli being out, I don't rate Martinelli, so I don't see that as some kind of loss. I think Trossard is a better overall player than Martinelli, so I don't see that as a loss. Havertz, obviously, yes, is a loss because they don't have another forward. Havertz and Jesus being out is a loss, because they don't have other forwards to supplement that loss. That being said, with those players in the Arsenal squad, I still don't think Arsenal win some of these games that they're drawing. Mainly because Arsenal has no second option. They have no plan B. The style of play is so repetitive and so repeatable that I don't see if the plan A gets stopped, I don't see the plan B working. Arteta has become so mechanical and so robotic in his football that I don't see Arsenal, if a team stops plan A, they have a plan B. If Saka's being man marked by 3 players, Odegaard isn't picking it up, and like what Subside has been doing this last 2 months. Odegaard, I don't think can do that. Not even because of his physical profile. I just think when it comes to that killer instinct, having that mentality of if our best player is not winning us the game, I'm gonna go win us the game. I don't think he has that. Now, obviously, I said I don't rate Martinelli. Martinelli is not the finisher or creator that is going to dig you out of a hole. They don't have enough X factors. They don't have enough guys that can change the game. If Havertz isn't getting the ball placed to him, he's not going to dribble through 6 players and put the ball in the back of the net. He's not that kind of player. It's only Saka that is that type of player. And I put all that together. I think not only do we win this league, I think we win this league by 10 to 15 points. I don't think it's going to end up close. Honestly, when Arsenal come to us at the end of the season, I don't think it's not going to matter. The league's going to be done by then. It's just going to be a fun, enjoyable game. So yes, this week, last 7 days, I was stressing when I saw the fixtures, and I was stressing because I saw Arsenal's fixtures as well. And what can I say? Tomorrow's my birthday. This is literally the greatest 7-day, building up to my birthday. This is the greatest birthday gift. Arsenal, I think, are out of the title race. Even if their players were to come back, they wouldn't be able to make up that ground. And Liverpool get a week off, and we face PSG next week. I'll make my previews on each game, each tie. Next week. But yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow, and I'm so excited. Liverpool is giving me the best gift possible, and 20 league titles, 2 Premier League titles. I know people like to take a dig at us for not having as many as United or Chelsea or whatever, but hey, I think 2 is it 1 behind Arsenal? Arsenal have 2 or 3? Well, we're catching up. So, and another thing, Arne Slot is building something special with this team. Now, I said before that I don't see Jota and Nunez being our starting forwards next season, our strikers next season. I hear there's talk about Isak. There's talk about Osimhen. I would like Osimhen in my football club. We need a new left back. There's so many different areas in this squad. I love Endo, but we need somebody better than him, coming off the bench. So obviously Trent is going to leave probably. We need a new right back. So there's a lot of ways to improve this squad in the coming year. And I think Man City are very far off of where they used to be, where I don't think you need 90 points to win the league. Arsenal, again, they don't have enough game changers. Now, if they were to go and sign Isak, if they were to go and sign, obviously I think Zubimendi is coming in the summer. Now you might be looking at something a little bit more challenging. But again, I think it's going to be Liverpool next season, Arsenal there about next season, and probably City once they, Guardiola's not going to have this bad of a season twice. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this season to finish. I'm excited to see where we end up in terms of the Champions League, because I think the league where I'm 90% confident we're winning the league. I want to see how the Champions League plays out, and the Carabao Cup final. If Newcastle's coming in with this, I know obviously Isak will be fit for that game, but if Newcastle's coming in with this, I don't see how they can beat us in that game. So it's a positive February. It's been a positive end to the month, and I'm very excited to see what Liverpool ends up with at the end of the season. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment as well. What do you think about Liverpool? What do you think about Arsenal? And what do you think about kind of all the injuries and all the little storylines that are going on to end the season? Thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day.